Welcome back. We were dealing with construction of balance sheet from various accounting ratios. Let us discuss about some of the adjustments or special type of cases that has to be dealt during construction of balance sheet or financial statement from the ratios. Next case. From the following information and ratios, prepare a summarized balance sheet as on the date specified in the question. So in this question it is said that the annual sales is 50 lakhs, and if you go through the question you can see that there are some ratios which we haven't learned, but that has been given in the question for the solely for the computation purpose. So whenever you come across this type of question, remember this is the most easiest question that can be dealt without any confusion or issues, because here there is only one item with the amount, and after that there are number of ratios is given. If you go through the ratios, already in each ratio there is sales. Since if the ratio and sale is given, you can easily find the other item. So in the next one also sales is given, so this item can be easily found out. Here sales given, inventory also can be easily found out. So once you dealt with all these items, you may accumulate some of the other items that can be used to find the rest of the ratios. That's how we are going to deal with. We will discuss about in detail. First of all, annual sales 50 lakhs. So first item is sales divided by fixed assets, or sales to fixed assets is 6 times. So you can directly use in that equation to find the amount of fixed assets. First one, fixed assets. In the question it is given sales to fixed asset, it means sales divided by fixed assets. So sales to fixed assets is 6 equal to sales is already given 50 lakhs divided by fixed assets. So you can easily find the amount of fixed assets 8,33,000. Next one. In the question, next sales, go for the ratio where sales is given. See in the third one there is no sales. See here it is sales. Sales to current assets is 8 times. So sales to current assets is sales divided by current assets. Sales to current assets is 8 equal to 50 lakhs divided by current assets. So you can easily find the amount of current assets. Similarly, go through the question and select the equation where sales can be attached. See the next one. Sales to inventory is 15 times. So sales to inventory is sales divided by inventory. Sales to inventory is directly given 15 equal to sales is 50 lakhs, also given in the question. So you can easily find the amount of inventory. Inventory is a term that can be synonymously used for closing stock or stock that appear in the balance sheet. Next one, current liabilities. Here the current ratio is given 2.5 times. We already found current assets, see 6,25,000. So you can easily find current liability. Current ratio is current assets divided by current liability. Current ratio is 2.5. Current assets is 6,25,000, which we have computed now. So amount of current liability is 2,50,000. Next one, debtors. In the question, the last equation or last point is sales divided by debtors is 18 times. So you can easily find the amount of debtors. Sales to debtors is sales divided by debtors. 18 equal to 50 lakhs divided by debtors. So the debtors is 2,77,777. Now we almost have almost all the items, and some other item which had been computed on the basis of information given. So from that we can found other items. Next one, net worth. Net worth is otherwise known as shareholders fund. In the question, the information regarding net worth is total assets divided by net worth is 3.5 times. So total asset to net worth means total asset divided by net worth, and ratio is 3.5. If we have the amount of total assets, we can easily find net worth. But there is no information regarding total assets in this question. But if you think logically, we already found total assets, because total assets means fixed assets plus current assets, and we already found fixed assets as well as current assets. See, in the previous slide, we already found fixed assets. See, fixed assets is 8,33,333 and current assets is 6,25,000. So if we add these two items, you will easily get the amount of total assets. Once you have the amount of total assets, you can easily find the amount of net worth. So total assets is 14,58,333. Just directly substitute this 14,58,333 in this equation. Total asset to net worth, it is already given 3.5 equal total assets divided by net worth. You will get the amount of 4,16,666 as net worth. So whenever you get net worth, remember net worth, instead of writing net worth, try to split the item. How can we split that? It can be split into share capital plus reserves. So if you go through the previous questions, you can understand almost every question is following a similar trend or pattern. Some other items may be new adjustments may be implemented or included in each question, but the concept and the pattern is almost same. So if you are familiar with the questions which we have discussed in the previous slide, you may find all these questions, or the questions which we are going to discuss in next sessions or coming sessions may be easy. Okay. Next one, cash. Here cash, there is no information regarding cash. But we have current assets and some of the other examples of current assets that can be computed on the basis of, and we also computed. See, debtors, we found debtors, and in the previous slide stock. So we found that current assets is 6,25,000. And on the basis of information given, we already found stock and debtors. See, we already found inventory, that is stock and debtors. See, we already found debtors. So naturally, when the current items or current assets items are added together, you have to get the total of current assets. So you have closing stock 3,33,000 and debtors 2,77,000. But if you add these two items, you will not get 6,25,000, because there is a difference. So whenever you are dealing with the preparation of balance sheet cases, make sure the amount of current assets tally with the items you have computed in that case. Here these two items, if you add these two items, you will not get 6,25,000. So the difference amount will be cash. That's how you are finding the amount of cash. So if we add these three items, you can easily get the total 6,25,000. So remember, while dealing with current assets, make sure whether the items which we have computed is tallying with the amount of current assets. If there exists any difference, it may be cash. Make sure whether the cash or bank is there given in the question. If there is cash or bank, it may be some other items. Never repeat the same item in the question. Next one, balance sheet. So on the basis of information and details given in the question, we have almost tried to compute almost all the items of the balance sheet. So let's find out whether the amounts tally as per the balance sheet rule. Balance sheet, liabilities, amount, assets, amount. First one, net worth 4,16,666. Remember, usually when you come across a question where net worth come, we usually did that. If you find the amount of net worth, we try to split into share capital and reserves. But in this question, there was no information regarding reserves and surplus, so we can't split the amount of net worth. So you can directly write the same amount. Remember, it is done because there is no information regarding reserves and surplus. That's why we wrote net worth directly in the balance sheet. If there is any information regarding reserves and surplus, you must split the net worth into share capital as well as reserves and surplus. Remember to do that. Next item. Fixed asset 8,33,333. So you can directly substitute the same item in the asset side, fixed asset, the amount. Next item, current liabilities 2,50,000. You can directly then note down the same in the liability side, 2,50,000. Next one, inventory, otherwise known as closing stock, or you can use stock, 3,33,333 stock. Next item, debtors 2,77,777, and also cash and bank 13,890. So just note down these two items. And we almost note down all the items which has been computed on the basis of details and information given in the question. So if you take the total, make sure whether the totals of the both sides tally. If there is any difference, you have to deal it accordingly. So here there is a difference in the liability side, because if you add these two items, you will not end up with this total. So there is a difference of some amount. And how we found that this side has the difference? Whenever you when you're dealing with balance sheet, preparation of balance sheet case, whenever there is a difference in the balance sheet, first of all, make sure all the steps you have done is properly done. And next one, you have to think that in the balance sheet, whichever side has the higher value, that will be the correct total. It's not a rule, it's just a trick for your understanding. Never ever consider this as a rule. Whenever you come across a balance sheet preparation, whenever you there finding or whenever you come across a difference, the side, which side having the highest value will be the correct total of that balance sheet. Here the asset side is having the highest amount, and here there is a difference of some amount, because if you add these two items, you will not get this one. So there was a difference, or there is a difference of something. So whenever you come across any difference in this side, liability side, make sure all the items is there in the liability side. Here it is given net worth, current liabilities. Usually a liability side, typical liability side consists of share capital, reserves, current liabilities, and long-term debt. Since there is no information regarding reserves and we already written net worth, so never ever think about reserves can be given as a name to the difference amount. So, and current liabilities is also given in this question. So we can assume that the difference amount is long-term debts. This is how you have to deal with the cases or adjustments that come under the preparation of balance sheet on the basis of ratios. Even though it's quite simple, you have to be very cautious while dealing with each and every item in the balance sheet as well as in the computation part. So just go through the cases. If you have any doubts, just contact me. Try to work out some other questions or whichever cases that you can access from any books or from Google or whatever it is. If you have any issues finding some sort of same cases or questions like this, try to contact me. We will solve those cases. That's all for today. We will discuss about further cases in the next session. Thank you.